Assalamu alaikum and welcome to The Why Teacher. In today's episode, we're looking at how to set realistic expectations with parents at the beginning of the school year. One thing that I can say for sure is that the beginning of the new year brings with it a rush of expectations. So you're going to have parents who are going to look at the new year as a year of possibilities for their child. They're going to look at the teacher as that magician who's going to turn things around for their child. Some of these parents are going to be able to communicate their needs for their child really well to you, while there'll be others who won't be able to communicate as well. So I feel that, when you have the orientation day at your school, there is a certain activity that you can do with the parents to ensure that you recognize and identify the needs of these parents well, and you're able to set realistic expectations at the very beginning of the year. The activity is quite simple. You give the parents a piece of paper and pencil and ask them to write down, their list of expectations for their child, whether these are academic in nature or personal. And the activity actually involves the parent in a way that, they tend to have a voice in the progress of their child. And it automatically makes them also a little bit responsible with, what kind of expectations they are setting. So it's interesting to see that, a lot of parents would come up with 3 to 4 expectations there, while some would, fill up the whole page. Now, that in itself is also a great indicator for a teacher to pick up, the anxious parents from the more realistic parents. Identifying the parents really helps teachers in forming better strategies of communication through the year. So a teacher, when she identifies an anxious parent or an unrealistic parent, she understands that communication is not going to be easy, and that you would need to have a proper strategy to satisfy this parent. Now, their anxieties are also going to transfer to the child, who in return might not perform as well as they would otherwise. And so that is going to be an added pressure. And of course, the emotional needs of the child are going to be all over the place. So understanding your parents is really important, and this activity really helps do that. Once your parents have listed down their expectations, you do want them to revisit those expectations and circle the most urgent ones. Now, this whole idea of guiding them back to their expectations and revisiting their expectations really aims at helping them realize that we all need a lot from our children, but we need to prioritize. And it's always good to go stepwise. So psychologically, this breaks down that whole idea of I want all of this to happen, and they tend to focus on what they really want. So in a lot of ways, you are also pushing the parents to think about the things that they are expecting, whether they are realistic expectations or you're just over expecting. So you will see that the parents, when they look at their lists again, they are going to circle fewer expectations, and that's a good place to start at the beginning of the year. Through this activity, you might still end up with parents who are adamant about their list of expectations and feel everything is important. In this case, you know that these parents are ones that are going to need your regular feedback. So long gaps in communication are not going to work with these parents. So while the school might have certain days marked out for your parent-teacher conferences, to manage the anxiety of these parents, you need to be more regular. For example, a weekly feedback would work with these parents. Keeping to the same point, understanding that anxious parents tend to stress out their children a lot as well. So these children who are coming to you, you already know that they are going to need emotional support. So a lot can be gathered from doing this simple activity, where you can tend to understand, how realistic or unrealistic, your new set of parents are. All expectations can be met in a logical manner when all stakeholders are made responsible. So orientation days often, have just the school or the teachers presenting the school's mission, presenting the school rules to the children and the parents. We talk about homework policy, we talk about discipline policy, which is all important. But at the same time, What is more important is to get everyone's voices in. You could extend the activity by getting the parents' expectations next to the children, and then the children can take out what they can commit to do. So in a way, what I'm trying to say is that it's a simple activity that can get everyone on board, that can shift the pressure that teachers feel, the pressure of expectations and high expectations from parents, in a way that everybody knows they have a part to play if they want to achieve the success that they're setting out on the paper. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. I hope that you enjoy these teacher talks. Please do leave a comment and share your ideas with me. Until next time, Allah Hafiz.